are not going to believe this one.
This is nuts.
Well, we're back with more breaking news out of Midtown, where a man has been shot on 54th Street at 6th Avenue, right outside the Hilton Hotel.
All right, and sadly, we are getting more information. According to the New York Post, the CEO of UnitedHealth was the person who they believe was targeted. We're not going to release his name right now. I don't know if next of kin has been talked to, but we are hearing it's somebody with the United Health. Dan Bowens at the scene this morning. What are you hearing?
Rosanna and Kurt, we just got confirmation from the NYPD that this victim, this man who was shot outside of the Hilton Hotel here on 54th Street, 6th Avenue, Midtown, has died. And that suspect this morning still on the run, still not in custody. The investigation still very much underway. Want to go through the details very quickly as we know them. Fox 5, Good Day New York, first on the scene. We saw as officers attempted to give this man CPR, those desperate moments, but again, this victim, the man who was shot in the chest, has died. This all happened about 6:45 in the morning outside of the Hilton Hotel right off 6th Avenue. The suspect described as a 6-foot-tall man with a slim build, possibly wearing a cream-colored jacket, black gloves. He took off northbound on 6th Avenue. People who witnessed this situation, there were actually 2 or 3 people who saw it. They said that it appeared that this suspect was waiting for hours, maybe overnight, outside of the Hilton, possibly targeting this victim. It's unclear potentially how these two know each other, what the backstory is here, all part of the investigation this morning. But again, we can confirm that this individual who was shot in the chest has died, and we're hearing, as you mentioned, Rosanna, that it is someone who may be a high-profile individual with UnitedHealthcare, all that, and the identity of this victim still to come later on this morning, possibly, or throughout the rest of the day. Rosanna and Kurt, back inside to you.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Ryan Thompson, CEO of freaking UnitedHealthcare, shot dead outside a fancy hotel in Manhattan.
It's crazy.
I mean, what is happening here? This is like something out of a movie.
I know, right? Except it's real life. It's wild.
Right.
Early morning Manhattan.
Yeah.
Thompson's on his way to this investor conference at the Hilton Mar, and bam!
Someone's waiting for him.
Targeted hit.
Not even like a robbery gone wrong.
Nope.
This was premeditated.
Right.
Like straight out of a mob movie, ski mask and everything.
And that's what makes it so unsettling.
Right.
The police reports that you sent me,
Yeah.
confirmed, shot in the chest, died at the hospital.
Damn.
Suspect fled, still at large. They've got video footage, but no motive yet.
Okay, so we've got a dead CEO, a mystery shooter, and a whole lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah.
Let's get to the point.
Yeah.
What is the word on the street? What are people saying about this?
Well, Governor Hochul called it horrific and
Yeah.
targeted, which, no shit. State police are assisting the NYPD. Everyone wants justice. The usual United Health Group released a statement, deeply saddened and shocked.
Yeah, all that corporate jargon.
Yeah, working with the NYPD, all that jazz.
Right, standard corporate response.
Yeah.
But let's be real. This guy was raking it in over $10 million last year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on. Makes you wonder if someone had a financial motive.
Yeah.
Was this a money grab gone wrong?
It's definitely a possibility. Your sources indicate that investigators are digging into his financial records, business dealings, even disgruntled employees. Who knows what they'll find?
It's true.
Corporate finance.
Shady.
It's a shady world.
Yeah, and it's not just any corporation.
Right.
We're talking the CEO of the biggest private insurer in the U.S.
Huge.
I mean, UnitedHealthcare is practically synonymous with healthcare in this country.
Right.
That has to factor into the equation somehow.
Absolutely. Healthcare in America, it's a minefield.
Oh, yeah.
Massive profits.
Yeah.
Political battles. And let's face it, a lot of people who feel screwed over by the system.
Big time.
And Thompson was right in the middle of it all. So could this be tied to, I don't know, some policy he pushed, a competitor he pissed off, maybe even something shady going on within the company itself?
Yeah.
There are a million possibilities.
It's mind-blowing. Speaking of the company, what happened with that investor conference? Did they just carry on like nothing happened?
Fuck no. They shut the whole thing down.
Really?
Andrew Whitty, the CEO of United Health Group, released a statement saying they had a serious medical situation to deal with.
Wow.
Understatement of the century.
Right. You think those investors are pissed off?
Oh, yeah.
Flying in from all over?
Right.
Big plans. Now it's gone to shit because of this murder.
Yeah, you can bet they're not thrilled about it.
No.
But hey, what can you do? When a CEO gets assassinated, business kind of takes a back seat.
True. That. All right. So where the hell does this leave us? We've got a dead CEO, a mystery shooter,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of unanswered questions.
Exactly. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This investigation is going to be a wild ride, and who knows what they'll uncover. Buckle up. This is about to get interesting. It feels like we're just scratching the surface here.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's not just some random murder, right?
No.
This is the CEO of a company that basically controls people's access to healthcare.
Right.
We're talking about life or death decisions. Millions of dollars at stake. It's heavy shit.
Exactly. Your research on UnitedHealthcare really highlights just how much power this company wields.
That's right.
They're a major player in the healthcare industry, which means Thompson's death
Yeah.
could have ripple effects far beyond just the company itself.
Right. It's like this murder just throws a giant spotlight on the whole fucked up system.
Yeah.
We're talking about insurance premiums, drug prices,
Yeah.
hospital bills, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
And now we've got this murder on top of it all.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity to an already complicated situation.
Okay.
I mean, when you think about all the people who might have had a motive, it gets pretty crazy. Competitors, disgruntled patients.
Yeah.
Maybe even someone within UnitedHealthcare itself.
Wait, hold up. Are you saying this could be an inside job?
Yeah.
Like some kind of corporate hit?
It's not impossible. Think about it.
Okay.
You've got this massive corporation, tons of money flowing around,
Yeah.
a CEO who probably stepped on a few toes to get to the top.
For sure.
There's bound to be some bad blood.
Damn. It's like something out of a Wall Street thriller. Boardroom betrayals, backstabbing executives, power struggles.
Let's not get too carried away just yet.
Okay.
We need more information.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something the police will be looking into. They'll be
Right.
digging into Thompson's relationships within the company, checking for any potential rivals or conflicts.
Okay, so we've got the corporate angle.
Right.
But what about the patients?
Yeah.
You mentioned disgruntled patients earlier.
Uh-huh.
Could someone have gone this far? Like snapped and decided to take revenge?
It's a long shot, but not entirely out of the question. Your research highlighted some of the horror stories
Yeah.
people have experienced with health insurance denials, outrageous medical bills.
Yeah, for sure.
The U.S. healthcare system can be brutal.
Yeah.
And if someone felt personally wronged by UnitedHealthcare
Right.
or by Thompson himself,
Yeah, I can see how that could push someone over the edge.
for sure.
It's a scary thought, but it wouldn't be the first time someone resorted to violence out of desperation.
Exactly. It's a dark side of the American healthcare system that often gets overlooked.
Yeah.
We focus on the financial and political aspects, but we forget about the real people whose lives are being impacted. And
Oh, wow.
sometimes those impacts can be devastating.
Man, this whole thing is just depressing. It's like a perfect storm of corporate greed, systemic failures, and individual despair.
It's definitely not your typical whodunit.
No.
It feels like it touches on some very raw nerves about the state of healthcare in this country.
Okay. Let's try to stay focused here. We've got the corporate angle, the disgruntled patient angle.
Mm-hmm.
What else are we missing? Are there any other avenues the police should be exploring?
Well, we can't rule out the possibility that this was completely unrelated to Thompson's work.
Okay.
Maybe it was personal. A vendetta from someone in his past.
Right, like an ex-lover, a pissed-off family member,
Yeah.
something like that.
Exactly. You never know what's going on in people's personal lives.
Right.
It could be a long-held grudge, a family feud, something that's been brewing for years.
Sure.
We can't discount that possibility.
So basically, we're looking at a whole spectrum of possibilities here.
Yeah,
Corporate hit, revenge, killing, personal vendetta. It could be anything.
exactly. And until we have more information, it's anyone's guess.
Right.
The police have their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
This investigation could go in a million different directions.
Speaking of the police, what's the latest on their end? Have they released any updates? Have they caught the guy yet?
From what I've gathered from your sources, they're still going through the footage from the hotel, trying to get a clear ID on the suspect.
Okay.
They're also interviewing everyone who might have seen something, guest hotel staff, people who are in the area.
Yeah?
It's a slow and painstaking process.
And what about Thompson's family? I can't imagine what they're going through right now.
It's got to be hell.
Yeah.
Suddenly losing someone like that in such a violent and public way,
It's awful.
it's unimaginable. They released a statement asking for privacy.
Of course.
Which is totally understandable.
Yeah, they deserve some peace and quiet after all this. It's just a fucked up situation all around.
No doubt about it. And it's a stark reminder that even in a city like New York,
Right.
where crazy shit happens every day, something like this can still send shockwaves through the entire community.
All right, so we're still in the dark about who did it and why.
Yeah.
But as this whole thing unfolds, what should we be paying attention to? What are the key things to watch out for?
Well, first and foremost, any updates from the NYPD.
Okay.
They're the ones with access to the evidence. And their findings will likely dictate the direction of the investigation.
Yeah.
So any press conferences, official statements, leaked information, that's all crucial.
Right, so we need to keep our eyes peeled for any new developments from the police. But what about UnitedHealthcare itself?
Yeah.
Should we be watching for any internal shakeups?
Absolutely. If this was an inside job, there might be some major changes within the company.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for any sudden resignations, promotions, or internal investigations.
Yeah.
That could be a sign that something is brewing.
That's a good point. And what about the media coverage?
Yeah.
Should we be reading between the lines there?
Definitely pay attention to who they're interviewing,
Right.
what angles they're focusing on, and what information they're choosing to highlight or downplay. Sometimes those seemingly insignificant details can offer valuable clues.
So basically, keep our ears to the ground and watch for any patterns or inconsistencies that emerge.
Yeah.
It's like putting together a giant puzzle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a complex case with a lot of moving parts.
Right.
So the key is to stay vigilant and connect the dots as they appear.
Oh, man, I have a feeling this is just the beginning. This whole thing could unravel in some really unexpected ways.
I think you're right. This is a story that's far from over.
Damn. Well, on that ominous note, let's dive into some of the wilder theories that are starting to pop up. This is where it gets really interesting. Okay, so we've talked about the facts, the possible motives, but the internet is already losing its mind with theories about this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of the craziest ones you've come across?
Oh, man. Where do I even begin?
I know, right.
The conspiracy theories they're off the charts.
Lay it on me.
Some people are convinced that this is all tied to some government healthcare scheme. Like they're trying to silence Thompson because he knew too much.
Oh, yeah. The classic, they're trying to silence him conspiracy. Never gets old.
Wow. What else?
There's a whole bunch of people convinced that this was revenge for a denied insurance claim.
Oh, really? Like some poor sap got their life-saving treatment rejected and decided, fuck it. If I'm going down, I'm taking the CEO with me.
Damn. That's dark.
It is.
But honestly, not that surprising.
Yeah.
The U.S. healthcare system can make people do crazy things.
Yeah, for sure.
What about some of the really out there theories? Any aliens or reptilian overlords involved?
Not yet, but give it time.
Well,
The internet's a creative place. I did see one theory that claimed Thompson was part of some secret society that controls the world's healthcare.
of course he was.
Right.
I love those secret society theories. Always add a little extra spice to things. But let's be real for a second. Out of all these theories, are there any that you think hold even a tiny bit of water?
Honestly, it's too early to say. We need more information from the investigation.
Sure.
But I do think the theories that focus on the power dynamics within the healthcare industry are worth considering.
For sure.
We're talking about billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Political influence and people's lives hanging in the balance.
It's true.
There's a lot at stake. Things can get ugly fast.
So you're saying we shouldn't rule out the possibility of some high-stakes corporate sabotage or a power play gone wrong?
Exactly. Thompson was a major player in a cutthroat industry. He probably pissed off a lot of powerful people on his way to the top.
Right.
Someone might have decided he was more trouble alive than dead.
It's like a real-life episode of House of Cards, but with even higher stakes.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens now? What's the next chapter in this twisted tale?
Well, the NYPD is going to be under immense pressure to solve this case.
Oh, yeah.
We're not talking about some random street crime.
Right.
This is the CEO of a Fortune 500 company murdered in broad daylight in one of the most heavily surveilled cities in the world.
Yeah.
They need to find answers. In fact,
The media is going to be all over this.
oh, yeah,
Every little detail will be dissected, every theory debated.
for sure.
It's going to be a circus.
Absolutely. And that kind of media frenzy can cut both ways.
Right.
It can keep the pressure on the authorities to solve the case,
Yeah.
but it can also lead to a lot of misinformation and speculation. Right.
Which just makes things more confusing.
True. So we just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure. This story's far from over.
Yeah,
There are too many unanswered questions.
for sure.
to any loose ends. And the truth, whatever it may be, is likely to be more complex and shocking than anything we can imagine right now.
Well, that's a chilling thought. And on that note, I think we're going to have to wrap things up for today.
Okay.
But seriously, what do you think is going on here? Hit us up on social media. Let us know your theories. And keep your eyes peeled, because this deep dive is just getting started. Who knows what twists and turns are waiting for us down the road? This is a Deep Dive signing off.